Okay, today we're going to 10 acres in La Garita. We're coming off of Highway 12 coming west out of Trinidad. This is called Sarcillo Canyon Road. We're going to take a right on. We're going to go up to La Garita here. And there's 10 acres up here with a water well, power and septic, good entrance road. So Sarcillo Canyon is called 41.7. And I'm going to be showing you the drive as we go up to this property and tell you more things about it. We're only, this is only about 20-25 minutes from town, from Trinidad, or the mom and pop store, which I just left. It's only about 15 minutes. So, and then you've got public lands around that are very short distance from this property. They got great views, big tall pines. You have grass as well. So yeah, we're going to be going about, it's about 7 miles, and they're paving this road a little every year. It's almost paved halfway up to the turnoff to La Garita now. And we got about 7 miles to the turnoff. You come up here, you go past a pond, and then you take a right. But I'll be showing you that. Okay, we've driven about 7 miles up Sarcillo Canyon Road, or County Road 41.7. And we're going to be coming up to the turnoff to La Garita. There's a sign up here. There's a house on this side, and you see this pond. There's a pond on the right hand side here. And they're going to cross the cattle guard. And right around the corner, take a right at the signs, which show La Garita. And if we keep going straight, a couple more miles, we'd be into the, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 acre wildlife area. Okay, we've come to the right turn just right after the pond, and there's a sign here that says Rancho Escondido, or Rancho La Garita. And then there's a sign there that shows you how to get to the wildlife area that's close. So we'll just go up the hill, go around the corner here a bit, and I'll show you a little more as we get to it. Okay, we took that right off of Sarcillo Canyon Road, and we're still on the main, only about a mile, a little more than a mile and a half. And we come to this point right here, and we're gonna stay right at this Y. We're gonna stay right. You see the firehouse here. We're gonna stay on Aspen Lane. And then we're gonna go down here about another mile and then take a right. We're gonna circle around eventually and get up over here on these hills. Okay, we're coming up to the next right-hand turn you take after the firehouse I just showed you. And it's only about a mile past the firehouse, and it's Deer Path Circle. There's a tree in the middle of the road, as they say. And we're gonna go down here, we're gonna circle around and come back to the property back over up on this side. So we just left that little field area you just saw, and we're just coming back up the hill here a little bit. We're gonna be taking a right, which will circle us around to the property here very shortly. Here we go, right here. Meadowlark Drive. I think that's what we're on. Looking for a right-hand turn. There's going to be a Y. We'll be able to take a right up here at the Y. Here it is. So there is no signage for what I'm seeing. Okay, so we took that right. And if you look at the aerial map and the topo map, it's going to be right here on the left hand side is where the first property boundary corner is going to be. It's somewhere right here in these trees. And then the property line basically goes south, due south from here through the trees. So you have trees and a mix of grass as well with the good views and things. So you come up here. If you keep going straight, you're going to run into a well down there, and you go left right here. And this is the owner's got gravel put on it, but it's a little drained out. It's really not as bad as it looks, but or feels or sounds like. So this is the property and the trees on this side. Very gentle ground, a lot of usable ground, easy to fence. Water wells are 200 to 400 feet deep, maybe, yeah, on average 200 to 400 foot deep at $20 a foot. So now we're going to start to see the meadow area, and we're going to drive up to, I guess I don't need to do much hiking on this. There's plenty easy to drive around through. I mean, you can see what these trees look like and things here. There's power lines coming in. So you have power, you got an RV septic here, and you got a water well. And then you have 10 acres with views. So, and a little shed. It's here, and this, the owners put this little gravel, they graveled this road and they put it in. This is towards the back side of the property when we drive up in here. So now we're at the what would be the middle of the two properties in the primary building site, and you can see why. And when you're sitting here, how good it's going to do through my the mountains look about like that. I'll get out and show you more here. Okay, we just drove in. The north, this is north. The west and east Spanish Peak is towards the north. So if you're looking at the topo and the aerials, it's a long skinny track that goes this direction and then takes off this direction as well. There's a nice shed here that's built and put up on stilts. They have some satellite dish here. Here's your RV septic, a septic right here, so you can pull your RV up. There's a tank lid, and then the water well, and then here's the power box. I guess I'll show you that first. They've got power going into the shed, comes up through those tubes there into the shed, so you don't necessarily have to bring an RV. It's sort of a shed campsite thing already. I'd cut some holes in it and put some windows in, and you've got plugs here for other things if you want to do that. Not sure about the old tractor that's on here. Could find out about that. This is coming up from the these are the water well shut off and coming up from the ground. It needs a pump put in the water well. I'm not sure about this old, it's like an old International tractor. MF, maybe not International. Anyway, this is sitting here. Not sure, I doubt they're gonna do something with that. The land's real pretty. You got plenty of open grass ground, and we drove in, come from this direction through those trees, which I was showing you in the video, to this spot, and all this meadow area is a part of it. Right before it gets to those trees right there, that's the western boundary. Run along, there's an old road. Drive along that front western boundary. The water well for the property is right down here. I don't know if you can see it out there. I'll be flying the drone over all this and making some aerial pictures to give you an idea of things. Like I say, when you're here, that's the west, this is north, about right where that eastern Spanish Peak is. And when you're standing here, the mountains look about that big. So if you look, we're walking south now basically, and if you look at the aerial and the topo here next to the video, you're going to see how this comes to a sharp point down here, and the old subdivision road, which is kind kind of hardly recognizable. It is basically right here between these trees. That would be the western boundary going along that direction. But anyway, this is the water well. It needs a new pump installed into it. I'm not a professional in this or anything, but been around here a while. I just took a little tiny rock. This is an unpermitted well, so it's not on the state records from what I can find. But it drops down in there. I don't know if you could hear the plop of the water as it went down in there, but that's what I was trying to do. And I'll just cover it back up here. So all I'm gonna do is go back up to the site, the main site. This will be the southern end of the property. Through these trees it goes probably about another, I don't know, 50 yards, 70 yards into the trees there. And you have all this and those trees over there, going over there where we drove in. Okay, we just came back from the water well, walking. You see the Sangre de Cristos mountains, that's to the west. And the, like I say, north and east Spanish Peak, basically that's, actually what I'm saying is west and east Spanish Peak is basically to the north. Like power's already pulled in here, and now I'm gonna get the drone out and fly it over the land and show you what this stuff really looks like.